Can you really revive a dead marriage? Here are 10 practical advice that can help not only revive a struggling marriage, but can also keep your marriage fresh. So if you are struggling in your marriage, or you just recently gotten married and you're wondering to yourself, how can we keep our love alive? How can we keep ourselves, thriving in our marriage? Today I'm going to share with you some practical, proven tips that can help you and your partner have the best marriage possible. And we are going to start right now. Hi guys, welcome to Honey Let's Talk, where we say when we talk, we make it better. My name is Pastor Shadi, and my wife and I began this channel to help couples be able to prepare well for marriage and also navigate their relational issues, but also when they get married to have some practical advice on how they can enhance and make their marriage the best marriage it can be. If that is you, and probably you're looking for such content, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and also share it with a friend. Today specifically, we're going to talk about how to navigate when your marriage is struggling, or how to revive a dead marriage. If probably you know someone who is in that particular season in their lives, maybe their marriage is not really working, or they've been struggling actually to relate or to connect back, and it's been going for years, this video is for them. So be sure to share with them, or maybe, I don't know, watch with them, or advise them to actually watch it. But if your relationship is working, these are also things you can be able to incorporate so that your relationship becomes even much better. Tip number 1, appreciate each other more often. One of the things you realize quickly is that you might be missing out on the connection because you or your partner are not saying the right things in the marriage. I know probably you've heard words such as I love you, I miss you, you look nice. Those are good words, but sometimes those words get to a place whereby they are so casual that they have no effect in the marriage. It's not that you need to stop saying them, no, but you need to actually improve and say better words, such as, let me ask you, when was the last time you heard your partner say, I appreciate you? When was the last time you heard your partner say, I value you? When was the last time you heard your partner say, I'm proud of you? Nowadays, the word I love you is so casual that people say it without even thinking about it, without even thinking, what does it really mean to love? They can actually mistreat you and then say, I love you. They can actually abuse you, and then the next minute they're telling you, I love you. And this is the problem. And this is where most people are in their marriages. There are things that they're not saying. Let me give you 3 words that you need to oftenly say to your partner, and you'll see it transform the way you relate with each other. Number 1 is that you need to say, I appreciate you more often. You need to look at your partner and actually just say, honey, I appreciate you. I appreciate the way you do this. I appreciate the way you say this. I appreciate the way 1, 2, 3. Make sure you put this as one of the things that you say to your partner more often. The second word you need to say oftenly is that I value you. Chances are your partner has never heard you say, I value you. And this is not just for the guys saying it to their women. No, it's also for their women saying it to their guys, saying, I appreciate you. And the third one is this, I am proud of you. There is a chance that there are many people who hears this word from the rest of the people in the world, but they have never heard it from their own partner. They've never heard their husband say, I am proud of you. They've never heard their wife say, I am proud of you. Probably they've never even heard their children say, I am proud of you. Daddy, I'm proud of you. Oh, mommy, I'm proud of you. And these words have so much power. And yet in these homes, maybe the words, I love you, is thrown every single minute. But The way things are done, when you have achieved something, no one is there to say, honey, I appreciate you, I value you, but also I am so proud of you. Your partner needs to hear this from you. Let that be what they hear, the first thing they hear when they go to work, and maybe they have achieved something, they have been successful with that project, they had a critical meeting, and they came out of that meeting and they say, how was the meeting? I say, oh honey, I had an amazing time in this meeting. Be the first one to say, honey, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of who you've become. I'm proud of the kind of a mother you are. I'm proud of the kind of wife you are. I'm proud of the kind of man you are. I'm proud of the kind of a father you are. Let them hear it from their own home, because those are the people that really matters. Friends, this one thing, if you start doing it, you will see it transform your relationship. One, your partner will know that they are valued. Your partner will know that they are cared for. Your partner will know that they are seen. They are seen. That the world is not the only people that see them. They are seen by their own partner. So try this today and go to your partner and tell them, I appreciate you. And find something to actually add to that appreciation. Bring a flower and say, I appreciate the kind of a mother you are. I appreciate the kind of a wife you are. Let this be normal in your house. Okay, the second thing is that you need to talk. Here at Honey Let's Talk, we believe in talking. We believe that talking makes things better. And let me tell you, one of the things that you need to really work on is having a regular date day. It can be a date breakfast, it can be a date lunch, it can be a date night, whatever that works for you in your context. But every week you need to find time to reconnect as a couple, away from kids, away from other responsibility, away from gadgets, and just go somewhere and sit down. And don't do it in the house, because in the house, you're so cozy, you might not have those deep conversation. Go on a date. Sit down. You don't have even to spend. Go ask for water and drink and just have a conversation. And here are 3 things that you can do to help you have a consistent date with your partner. We say here in Honey Let's Talk that when we talk, we make it better. And we say that if you are to be intentional about this thing, about dates, you have to do 3 things. And we call them the 3 Ps. Number 1, you have to plan it. You have to prioritize it. And you have to protect it. These 3 things, if you do not do them, you realize that you will not be able to be intentional. You will not be able to have regular dates, because the world is so busy. There's so much that is in competition for our time, is competing for our attention. There is work, there is side hustle, there are children, there are friends, there's so much that can compete with your time. So if you do not plan it, and not just plan it, but also prioritize it, and not just prioritize it, if you do not protect it, then it will be taken away. That time will be taken away by other things. And because you're used to not having the date, you will not see it as a big deal. And you'll say, oh, we'll do it next month. We'll do it next. Before you know it, next month will be next year. So do these 3 things. Plan the date. My wife and I have our dates every Tuesday evening. We plan it. We prioritize it. On Tuesday evening, I don't set any meeting. If I need to meet with someone on Tuesday, I meet with them before the time. And then we protect it. If you do not protect it, it will be taken by other good things. And hear this. It will not be taken by bad things. It will be taken by good things. So the second thing that you need to do, apart from appreciating each other more often, is to have time together, is to date, is to go on dates and have conversation, is to talk and allow each other the time to actually express what you are feeling. Okay, somebody asked me the other day, so what do you talk about in the date that you meet every week? What are you talking about every week? And I'm going to tell you what you can talk about every week. if you are to really intentionally go on these dates and have meaningful conversation. The reason why you're planning it is because it's because when you don't plan it, you have nothing to talk about. Plan it. Say this next week, let's talk about this investment that we need to make. Go ahead and research, and also I'm gonna go ahead and research, and then when we meet, we have content to actually put on the table and say, this is what I found about this investment scheme or this investment company. And then I also come with the things that I feel like this is what I think we should do. Failure to do that, every time you meet on a date, someone will come with an agenda, and they will want, because they have already thought about their agenda, they have already processed it, they will find you flat foot, and you'll end up agreeing to something that you've not really processed. And then later along the way, you realize, I don't think we should be doing this. And you're like, but you agreed to it. And that's where conflict comes in. But if you give each other the opportunity, you say, we're going to talk about parenting next week. Go think about areas in our parenting journey that we are not doing it well. And I'm also going to think about areas in our parenting that we are not doing or we need to improve. And then when we meet, we talk about it. We say, this is what I found. These are the things that I've observed. Oh, really? Yeah. And because I've already processed and thought about it, we can easily now discuss it and move in together. And this helps you not finding yourself at a place whereby your partner is always the one with the agenda. What they say is what goes, or what she says is what goes. And that's where the problem comes in. Because if you're not into it 100%, you will want to frustrate it not to work. But if you're together and you're moving in the same direction, you will be able to build a strong marriage. Okay, the third thing is to check in on each other daily if possible. Check in with each other daily if possible. Check in with each other daily. Call each other during the day. When you take a break, when you take a lunch break or a tea break, just take your phone and call your wife or call your husband. Honey, how are you doing? How is it going? What's happening on your end? I'm just from this meeting and I felt like I just wanted to share with you. I just wanted to connect with you, and connect and just have those moments where you just randomly, share and says, oh, I appreciate you, or, oh, honey, I'm proud of you, or just say, you know what, I've missed you. I'm looking forward to us, driving together, or I'm looking forward to our dinner tonight. Check in with each other. Okay, check in with each other. It's really important. I have come to realize that if you do not do this, you realize your communication always revolves around children and bills. Children and bills. Somebody, when you see your wife calling, you know that they're asking you to pass by the supermarket and buy something. They're not calling to say, oh, honey, I've missed you, or, can we do this? Or, hey, I'm really looking forward to having you at home. No, most of the time they're calling you, and when you see it, I'm going to the supermarket, or there's something or tokens are over and I need to pay for electricity, and that is really, really a very, very casual relationship, and it's not good. Try as much as possible to start building moments during the day. And this is important. I know it's hard for us men because we're very logical, and it's important for the women because they're very emotional. When you do this, they feel so connected, and by the time you're getting at home, you are really, really deep emotionally. You're really, really connected. Okay, the fourth thing is address intimacy issues immediately. Address intimacy issues immediately. So if you miss, probably you've been having intimacy, and then all of a sudden now you've missed 2 days, 3 days, a week. You need to talk about it. Don't just assume that things will just go back. And maybe that's what has been happening, but you need to talk about it, because chances are there is something that is interfering with that moment. And if you do not address it, then you or your partner will find ways of coping with it, and then once they have figured it out on their own, then you're back at it again. No, you need to address it and say, honey, we've missed twice. Are we okay? And here is where now you can call for a date and ask, honey, can we have a date? Can I take you out for coffee? And in that coffee date, you need to ask this important question. How are we doing? How are we doing? Do you think we are okay? Are there areas that we need to improve? When you start having those intentional conversation, you realize probably there's something that has been happening and you don't know, and it's interfering with the feeling of wanting intimacy. And you might, assume that, oh, we're not okay, or something is wrong, but you don't know what is wrong. You need to actually sit down and say, honey, what's going on? And maybe someone is stressed, or maybe someone is struggling somewhere, and the least they want is actually engaging in that area of intimacy. And they actually say men want to solve their problem by engaging in intimacy, and women want to solve the problem first before they engage. So you see where now we clash. So one of us wants it, but now we can't get it because the other person is not in a good space, and we might assume, okay, let them deal with their issue, then we'll be back at it. But that's not the way to work in marriage. You need to actually talk about it on an intentional way. The fifth one is, if you're not a church person, a spiritual person, this might be really hard for you, and it is pray together. Pray together. Prayer helps diffuse so many tension in a marriage. So if you are a married couple and you are praying together every evening, and I want to give you a way of praying together actually. Hold hands. Especially when there is tension, hold hands, and you can feel the tension. You can be able to pick on the cues when you're not okay. When you hold your husband's hands, and you feel like, oh, it doesn't sit right with us. There's something wrong. Those are moments where you say, can we pray about it? Is there anything that we need to pray about? And you pray, and you can actually pray and preempt certain conversation when you're praying and say, Father, thank you that we are in this place as a couple in our marriage. If there is something that is going on, please reveal it to us. Help us be able to work on it. When you pray, you find that you're connecting and you're drawing to each other. Don't assume that just the fact that you pray individually, things will be okay. No, you need to pray together. And there's a place for individually praying, and the goal actually is that you need to be okay yourself spiritually. Your partner needs to be okay spiritually. Both of you needs to be working towards your spiritual maturity, but also you need to do it together. And it has many benefits, actually, not just for you, but also for the entire family. When your children start seeing you praying together, they learn this is what it means to be in a relationship with someone. We pray together. We love on each other. The sixth thing that you need to do to help you revive your struggling relationship is that you need to spend time together. You need to spend time together. I see so many couples who wants to do things as if they are single. I want to do things with my own friends. My wife wants to do things with her own friends. That's not how we do marriage. Yes, once in a while she can go and see her friends, she can engage with her friends, but we need to find common things that we are doing together. Recently we started this tradition whereby we find a place and we just go and try something new. We went and we skate together. Both of us had never skated before, and we found it to be an amazing opportunity for us to connect, to engage and talk about things, not just talking about issues, but just talking about the future and plan together. We went for zip lining and we really had a great time together. We sometimes just go and do a road trip, and on the car we just talk and engage. We sometimes do videos together. We find things to do together. You need to find those common things you do together. Don't just give yourself the chance of just drifting away because you're saying, I need to have fun. When my husband is here, I will not have fun. That's the wrong way to think about marriage. Because if you're not having fun when your partner is there, then probably you're in the wrong place. The seventh one, you need to surround yourself with good friends. There are friends, and then there are good friends. Good friends are those friends that want the best for you as a couple. Not just the best for you as an individual, but the best for you as a couple. You know, we have those friends that we hang out with who really, really means a lot to us. They want the best for me, but sometimes I feel like, are you guys really for my marriage, or are you just for me? I need to be happy. You need to be happy. You need to be happy. What about us being happy? You need to have friends who are pushing you to make your marriage work, not people who are pulling you apart, not people who are sowing thoughts of negativity about your marriage or about your partner. And this is the place where you need to protect your partner. Even when you are having conflict, protect your partner, especially against or with your own family. If I have a conflict, like for my wife and I, we know, if I have a conflict with my wife, the last person she wants to run to is her own family. And the reason why we made this as an agreement as a couple is because if she shares something with her own family and we end up working on it, her family will not move on. You know, she might move on, but every time I meet with her family, they might look at me weirdly. Yet we have already worked on the situation. And because this is a relationship that we want to keep for a long time, we tend to not mess it up by bringing our mess to them. We want to work out things. We have friends that we can go to and actually talk, because if we move on, they have to move on, or otherwise we'll just cut them, you know. You have to protect each other. You really have to protect each other. Okay, and the eighth thing that you need to do is to celebrate each other. You need to celebrate each other. My wife and I keep joking that we are not good with gifts. You know, and we are terrible with gifts. I don't know the last time I bought a gift, you know. I don't know the last time I received a gift. And we are terrible at it. And this year we told each other, I know this thing is something that we are not good at it, but we need to celebrate each other. We need to find ways of celebrating each other. And for us, sometimes celebrating each other might mean, I want to take you somewhere. I want to take you to this new restaurant. I want to celebrate you. I want to buy you a cake or something. I want to do this. And above that, we want to buy gifts. We want to try as much as possible to gift each other this year. And maybe for you, it's different. Maybe for you, you're at a place whereby you're saying, I want to celebrate my partner, but I don't know how to celebrate them. It's a place of talking and saying, how can I celebrate you? If I ever want to celebrate you or to surprise you with something, what would you like? How would you like us to celebrate each other? So you need to celebrate each other. And then the next one, which is the ninth one, is keep learning and keep growing. I think that is straightforward. You need to keep learning and keep growing. Keep watching videos together like this one that you're watching. Keep, reading books together, sharing ideas, read blogs, meet other people who are growing, go to seminars, go to conferences together. Keep growing. Find something that challenges you to grow and to grow into your marriage. Marriage cannot just be left to grow on its own. You have to intentionally put in the work and putting the effort to actually grow it. And the last one is simple. Grow. You grow together, but also you as a person grow. The problem with many people, you find you're a couple and one of you is the one who is growing, is the one who is exposed. And the more you're exposed and the more you're growing, you start thinking different. And then you realize when you're having conversation with your partner, it's as if they're not getting it, because you're thinking from this level, they're thinking from this level, and you feel yourself like you're clashing. So you need to be growing. You need to be growing. This might mean going to school. This might mean, finding other ways of growing, maybe in your career or growing in your business, whatever that is, or whatever that context, or your context is. Try and grow yourself. Grow your spiritual life. Don't just your wife can't just be here and you're here spiritually, or your husband here and you're here as a wife spiritually. No, you need to grow as an individual. Not just grow together, but also grow as an individual. It helps when you are also growing yourself. And here we believe that when we talk, we make things better. So I want to challenge you today to take these 10 things, sit down with your partner and write them down and say, how are we doing in this area of appreciating each other? How are we doing in this area of dates? How are we doing in this area of reconnecting and connecting with each other? How are we doing in this area of prayer? How are we doing in this area of addressing issues with our intimacy? How often should we have it? When we don't have it, how long should we, be silent until we talk about it? So start thinking about these 10 things. I can guarantee you, my brothers and sisters, that if you start putting this into practice in your own marriage, your marriage will never be the same again. You will have a better marriage, you will have a deeper marriage, and you will have a thriving marriage. And if your marriage is struggling, start doing this. Take one as a challenge for each month and say, this month as a couple we'll try and just practice this one thing. Going on dates regularly for once a week in a month, four days in a month, and we go on a date and we reconnect. Or two, you can pick a few and say, when we go on our dates, we are going to talk about how do we appreciate each other, or how do we pray together, or how do we grow together. Find ways of growing. I don't know if this has been helpful to you, but if it has, please consider subscribing, because we've realized many of you are watching but you've not yet subscribed. Consider subscribing. Consider liking this video and sharing it with a friend. Share our channel with a friend, and let's see how we can impact as many couples as possible. Otherwise, see you next time when we talk about something amazing. So hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified immediately when the next episode is uploaded. Otherwise, goodbye.